Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to this week's show. It's been a while. Been a busy Christmas. We've been very busy doing our projects and whatnot. One of the things I wanted to do was have a drive together in Japan. We're in my amazing K-truck. It's a tiny little Suzuki K-truck. And I'm going to just show you around, chit chat while we're driving. Obviously drive safe, drive carefully, so I won't be touching the phone, I won't be doing anything, but I will be just showing you around. So this is our little lane going past the orchard, and I've got my sticky tape on here to hold it. And yeah, Japanese roads, very interesting place. Japanese roads, I think it's worth us doing a video on it because Japanese roads are amazing, if I don't mind saying so myself. Just to let any of you new people know the story. So I'm an English dude, live in Japan with the wife. She's the boss, she's a Japanese princess, and I've got a UK licence, got it transferred over, got a Japanese licence. So yeah, I never liked driving in England, if I'm honest. People were very rude, and it just tends to be a lot nicer. Some nice bamboo there, small bamboo. This is an empty house round here. It's a lovely house. It's a Kia house, an empty house. So we're going to have a little drive on the roads and just check around. We're driving up to the mountain at the moment. Got some some pheasants that live around here. So there's a family of them, about 8 of them. Hopefully we'll bump into them. This is a lovely house as well. So really gorgeous houses around here. K-truck's a pretty interesting little truck. It's like the backbone of the farming economy in Japan. Everyone and their dog's got one. They're real good little workhorses. And look at all this stored wood, lovely. That guy's prepared. And yeah, it's a lovely day. It's a beautiful day. It's winter. Obviously it's 2025, so it's the first video of the year. And there's a lot of notable differences in driving in Japan, that's for sure. Someone doing their exercise this morning is on it. We'll give a little wave and a toot. Yep, another day, another dollar. So yeah, this is interesting. This is actually part of our land. Some of this in front, there's a well down there. You might not be able to see it, but yeah, driving in Japan, what more can I say? Very peaceful, very lovely. People are very polite. Right, it's very maybe it's different countryside driving compared to city driving in Japan, because I think cities everywhere around the world tend to be a bit colourful with the driving style, but certainly in the countryside there is some real differences and kind of road etiquette things. Oh look, this is another thing down here. We had a little rock fall, so we've just got to watch out. We've got quite a steep edge down there. So, and this video is probably good for anyone who's thinking of coming to Japan and driving or renting a car. You know, obviously we've got the guest house, and we've had quite a few drivers come to us that have been foreign drivers. We had a German guy, lovely German guy, come. He rented a hybrid, lovely car, turned up, and I kind of said to him, I said, oh, that's a really nice car you got there, mate. And he'd rented it. And we had some other guests as well. They were a family. They're quite a big family of 8. You know, they've got all their kids, and it's mum and wife. Let me just pick up this bottle. Got loads of trash flying around. It's like Blues Brothers car. Yeah, they were a family. They rented 2 cars. So it's not unheard of for foreigners to come to Japan. Oh, we've got to check the mirrors up here. You probably won't see that. All clear. But I always recommend if you're gonna come to Japan and drive, especially for any of you bikers out there, or watch this as well. We've got a place we might have to stop. We all good? Yep, he's signalling us forward, signal right, signal left, give a wave. So the etiquette of driving in Japan is superb. You know, people are very polite. I love it, to be honest. I've always been quite a polite person. So for me, no skin off my nose, no problem, you know. The rules are the rules, I always say. You know, they're there for a reason. Don't mess about if you're coming and driving through Japan. I mean, one of the things you might notice is about just the quality of the roads. I mean, for me, I'm quite used to England's, although I wasn't a long driver in England, I'm very mindful of the kind of quality of the roads in some of the locations in England, you know, bumpy and holes, and it's very noticeable in Japan that the roads are just beautiful, you know, really pleasurable to drive. And I don't know if you can see by me, I've got a couple of the big Tonka trucks, and one thing we do in Japan is when we're driving, if there's people looking like they want to go past you, you just signal in and you let these boys go past on their busy day. Put the old double lights on, and that just lets them know you're pulling over to them. I mean, we're in a small K truck. I don't want to be holding up a load of workers. We're taking our time. There's no rush. Take that signal off, signal out, and off we go. They can lead the way. And sometimes you'll see as they pass, a lot of the older folk do that. So I've still got my new, even though I've driven over a year in England, after I passed my test, it took me years. Shout out to Uncle Jeff for bugging me for all those years to get my driving lessons, because it really did make a difference. Coming up to a tunnel here, there's tunnels everywhere, because obviously it's very hilly. Tunnels and bridges in Japan, you know, and when you think about how much money it probably costs to make a tunnel, you know, they've really invested in their road infrastructure. Most of the modern cars, they're either excuse me, hybrids, got a GPS thing on them, so when you go through a toll station, it automatically deducts from the car account. And if you're renting a car, then they probably got that sorted, and you'd probably be just charged additionally. You know, it's not much. It's, you know, $10 or $5 some of these main freeways. We won't be driving on the freeway today. We'll be driving just on a kind of A road. You'll notice here the guys, it's driving is pretty much the same as England on the left hand side. So it's kind of left hand side rules. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I'm not touching the camera, so I just allow you folks to just catch the view. Different style houses and stuff. We're driving, just got to run a couple of errands for the boss, and she'll be happy about that, so we're going to go and do that. And yeah, it's very much a pleasure to drive, you know, in Japan, and it's definitely something worth doing. I mean, a couple of the guests that we had that rented cars in Japan, you know, they did it because obviously they want to cross a lot of territory. One of the guys that rented a car and came to our guest house, he was pretty blown away by the time he arrived at ours. He'd been driving for sort of 5-6 hours, and he kind of said, oh, I didn't expect it to be like it was. And I think he meant that from the perspective of, you know, just the way the driving works over here, and you know, the kind of the amount of road he wanted to cover, because essentially we're in the southern middle part of Japan. See, I've got another truck behind me here. Watch out for these boys. Got a lot of workers out today, so I think I'll pull over in a minute and let these boys go. you can see. They're just controlling the traffic, so just pay attention a bit around here. I mean, you notice a lot of the working boys out in Japan. You know, they've got loads of guys covering the road, and one waving a flag, and one signalling people to go through, and they kind of really cover it off well, really. I will say one negative thing though, and there ain't many negative things, but there's a lot of bright lights at night driving in Japan. There's a lot of dazzling going on, and you do need to be a bit focused and aware if you're driving at night. You know, people have got those really strong LED lights, and I always complain about it when I'm driving. If I'm driving at night with the wife or the family, you know, you just have to be aware. Don't be dazzled, because you know, people have really powerful lights. And in England, when you're driving with your full beams, you turn them down when you have another car approaching. But I don't seem to see a lot of people do that in Japan. I don't know whether people are just not aware of it, or I tried to do a thing where I turn mine down as I go past, like try to teach them, but it hasn't worked so far. Got the wood mill on the left. They're making some logs, a few adverts for the politicians. Yeah, there's no drinking alcohol and driving out here, so it's not like England where you can have, I think it's like a certain amount of units, 1 pint, and then driving. It's a big no-no, so definitely would warn against that. And obviously a zero tolerance for anything prohibited. So just any of you foreigners think to come over, just be very aware about that. You know, don't want to ruin your holiday, and respect the laws and rules and regulations. Again, if you want to look up that stuff, maybe some of the particulars about driving and the rules, maybe if you're on the right hand side of the road in your respective nation. Yeah, it's a lovely day. Look at it, roads are good. We have to watch out around here because there is venison deer running across, wanting to turn itself into a burger, so we have to watch out for that every now and again. But yeah, it's a lovely day today. I mean, you know, what more can you ask for? A little gentle ride. There's a warning on the side saying watch out for monkeys, so we might see a monkey or two. I haven't managed to catch any good footage for you folks about that just yet, but we're on the lookout. And yeah, speeding's a big no-no as well. Don't go coming out here and speeding, being a lunatic. That's not good. And just kind of keep the etiquette of the road. I think that's a big thing, because there's some amazing driving culture out here. I don't know if anyone's really talking about it in the West, but there's a lot of bike clubs and driving clubs. We've bumped into a few. You know, we bumped into a Toyota group, and there must have been about 10, and that was only part of their group, but they had 10 huge Toyota 4x4 trucks, you know, the latest models. Oh look, this is a nice juicy car. Look at that crane going past. And yeah, these Toyota truck guys, they were just driving through the country, going on their weekend tour together, you know. So if you're a bike enthusiast or car enthusiast, I'm sure you'll be very well aware of some of the Japanese automobiles. And you know, there's some gorgeous dream cars and bikes. I've looked at things, I thought, oh, I'd love to have one of them. I'd love to have like a 4x4 style hunting vehicle that would be like camouflaged and military style. That's just my personal preference. Infrared detectors and a searchlight on top, so I'm going to help the hunters chase things down. Yeah, it's just another typical day out in the countryside, people taking it easy. Some really beautiful mountains up here. There's a lot of modern cars out here as well. I mean, I'm used to in England seeing cars that probably look a bit old, you know, 20-year-old or whatever. But I've seen some really cool vintage cars as well. A lot of just enthusiasts, you know, people who like a certain kind of car or a certain kind of bike, and they just all go on a ride together. You know, when you see this kind of roads, I mean, this is pretty much what it's like most places. Get a lot of push bikers as well. We've got a guy out here. Just give him some space on this turn. And it's these kinds of roads, you understand why people do it. You know, it's so beautiful. Overtake him just on the straight up here. Usually you get the monkeys up this part of the road trying to nick people's oranges and things. Give this guy some space. I mean, you do have to be careful if the weather is something to be really considerate. If you've never been to Japan and you're driving, always check the weather. Make sure you've got the right tyres if it's going into the snowy areas. We get some really strong ice up here. Don't really settle, but we get strong ice, so we just have to keep that speed down. Also, when it's raining as well, when it rains, it can really rain. I'm talking, you know, a deluge. Come on down and, you know, just watch the old aquaplaning, especially on some of these hilly areas as you're coming downhill or on a straight. Just don't take the piss with the speed. It's not worth it, you know. But apart from that, you know, those are worth considering, especially if you're driving through a couple of different areas on a bit of a tour around Japan. You might want to be making sure you're just familiar with what weather you're going into and make sure you've got the right tools for the job. Another thing that's worth mentioning is the motorway service area network. Really good in Japan. So in the UK we've got the MSA network, so there's like, you know, 127 motorway service areas dotted around the UK. It's a similar scenario here. Some of these locations are really big, like a shopping centre. They've got different not bars, they've got like different bakery and, you know, shops and precincts, and they're absolutely packed with people. And some of them are really small, but they've all got amenities and facilities. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of trucking that goes on in Japan, but I was very, very impressed when I went to a motorway service area here. It was huge. Absolutely huge, and full of all the different things. I mean, we ended up doing a bit of shopping because there was a cracking bakery in there. Being a Westerner, I love a good bit of bread. So, yeah, if you're driving through Japan, definitely plan in your route. Always remember offline map. So if you're doing your Google Maps for your navigation, or you're using one of these other GPS maps or whatever, even if you haven't got your wireless on, sticking your GPS on and doing an offline map will enable you to still know where you are, and that might be really good if you're going out in some of these really open areas, because there is some real wild areas in Japan where you might be, you know, a long way away from civilization, not too far, but, you know, enough that if you have a challenge or you get lost, or especially if you're driving you know, we're on a kind of semi-main road, but it's easy to go to, you know, the country mountain routes and then get lost, or your navigation stops working because you haven't got a Wi-Fi signal or 5G, 4G, whatnot. Japan tends to be really good with mobile coverage. I'm not too sure on what the northern part of Japan is, but from our experience it's been pretty good. But always do an offline map and keep your location setting on and your GPS, and you should be alright. And sometimes keep your wireless on as well, because that actually helps the phone know a bit better its approximation of its location, where it's sniffing out Wi-Fi networks on the way. But as I say, we've never had no problems with navigation. It's probably a little bit easier for us because we've been here before and we know the area and we're getting to know the roads more and more. But if you're driving through Japan, going on a road trip or something like that, then it's always good to just be aware of those things. And you know, Japan is very blessed with some beautiful geography. You know, I know there's nothing that special while we're here driving, but I just wanted to show you what typical roads are like, you know, in the countryside. Again, you might have seen a few signs on the way as we're driving. There's a lot of rockfall signs. You know, some of these areas, if it's raining, that's when I really tend to worry about rockfalls. If we're on a mountain pass or something like that, you just got to watch out, keep an eye on the rocks, see what they're doing, see if there's a pile of rocks. If there looks like there's movement, then just, you know, be very careful, move fast, move quick, move careful. But other than that, should be no problem. So I will see you in a minute for the return journey back. Let's go do our errands. Right, round two. So it's getting a bit windy here today. It's been pretty cold at night. I think it was about, it does get freezing, but it was about 5 degrees C inside the house yesterday. So it's a bit chilly at the moment, unless you're near the fire, obviously. Let's wait for these people. Yeehaw! Yeah, man, we decided to name this car Little Pepe. My little Pepe. It's a tiny little thing, but 350 kilograms it can move, so very happy about that. 4-wheel drive if we need to. All good. So we're very happy about that. Got a nice train bridge just going under this old one. Yeah, trains are something a bit special in Japan. Never late, not like in the UK. Every other one's late. Not in Japan. Trains are always on time. So this boy wants me to let this guy out. Let's take it easy. No, all good. Good. Yeah, at this point we're really preparing for the spring now, and just clearing up the final jobs of the winter We've had a bumper harvest of winter vegetables, so we're thinking of increasing production by another 50% next year, same time. And also come the ending of the first frost, which for us would be probably the same as the UK, around March, April, early April maybe. We're going to significantly plant more of a variety of stuff for summer, and I've already got plans for that. We've got to fix the fencing because we had a young male buck. Let's just pull over here, let these boys, because these are the fast boys I want to get past. Yeah, we had a young buck who was spotted loafing around our tea field, so I've spotted him up the road as well. He's like about the size of a large goat. Young boy, small antlers, and I know he's been floating around thinking he owns the place, so we've got to get a little bit of extra fencing up before summer to get that, to just get them away. We have I like to call it monkey pressure. It's the pressure of what the monkeys do to your crops and stuff, and at the moment our monkey pressure rating is around 0, so we don't have a lot of pressure or problems from the monkeys. But as soon as they realise that we're growing good stuff, they're going to start coming to visit, and the next thing we know, we have a monkey playground outside. So we're going to have to set up preventative defensive measures, which will probably entail a little bit of barbed wire to poke that monkey bum, and yeah, just keeping an eye on them, because the monkeys, when you hear the monkeys, you know where they are, and yeah, I kind of shout them off, vocal sonic weaponry, but we haven't had no problems apart from that. I think they know, no, it's not their land, it's get off my land, we'd say. So our monkey pressure rating is around 0 at the moment, which is good. The wild boar, I've noticed a little pattern now. He likes to come and dig for big fat juicy worms at the end of the road, which is fine by me. He can dig that bit up and snuffle out some worms, but he will be floating around if they spot the gardens growing in the spring. We don't have no problems with mice or rats, which is pretty good. We've got a cat now, so that cat is definitely looking. He's now subcontracted to our mice deterrent operations team, and he's currently in training, so that's good. We haven't spotted no bears near our place yet, but around this area is where the moon bear was sighted a couple of times. But we haven't had no problems with bears just yet. And I mean, we might one day have one wandering through or something like that, but we've got deterrents and stuff to deal with that. The big challenge this year is to reduce our tick and hero leech challenge, where the overproliferation of these deer and wild animals has led to a stark increase in ticks and leeches. The mountain leech is about 1 inch long. You know, in the summer it's like jungle. The kind of temperature is a very moist, hot, wet mountain, and it's perfect for those kinds of creatures. So we've got a couple of strategies to lower that problem, and they're going to be implemented. We're ahead of the curve on that already, where a combination of grass cutting and fencing is already pushing back the animals, and that is actually led to a decrease. So we're going to keep that trend going this year. In terms of our own personal protection when going around the forest and stuff like that, deep. DEET is our best friend. I know, you know, it's a bit chemical warfare, but you know, when it gets so out of control and proliferated critters, because you know there's not enough hunters in Japan shooting down, and there's no wolves to eat these, then we've got a major problem on our hands, you know. So again, nothing better than a bit of venison or gibier if you're in Japan. And it gets pretty wild out here, you know, in the summer. But if anything, the coldness that we're experiencing right now in the winter months, which isn't too bad as you can see, it's pretty easy as you can see, is a bit of welcome respite from the mosquitoes and the critters and stuff like that. So very happy and for a bit of welcome cold. They're building a new motorway section up here. This is going to be the high-speed motorway area, boring through the tunnel. I mean, that would be a couple of £1 billion worth of road infrastructure. Goes quite a long way if that was in England. So investing in the area, getting that transport network, zoom in. Again, you know, road infrastructure, as the Romans said, is the key to a strong economy. Every now and again, when the sun comes through as well, it's absolutely gorgeous. You know, there's nothing wrong with a bit of 4 seasons in one day. But let's wait for make sure this lady knows we're here. Yeah, what a day. What a day. A lot of river systems around here, because obviously in the peaks and troughs of these big hill mountain things, you know, the rivers naturally form, so there's lots of little bridges and things. And if you're driving out here, just be aware about the shape of your car and make sure you're not bashing the edges of your car as you go around some quite sticky tight turns. We're just about heading back to town now. We've got the supplies for the princess, and yeah, it's another typical day, right? Again, we've got another rockfall sign up here. Nothing to worry about around here. I mean, at night it gets a bit hairy, because sometimes you will see a deer run out of the road. And I think what we'll do is have a quick detour through town, so you can just look at town and see some of the architecture and houses. Maybe some of you are interested in that stuff out there. I love looking at gardens and houses and having a peek of what people do and how they do it, and what kind of styles of architecture. So a lot of these houses are old, you know. These are empty houses. There's a quite significant portion of empty houses, and a lot of them are old school houses, 70s, 60s, some new builds. I was watching a Kaminka restoration video last night about nail-less joinery, and how, when you know, some of these master carpenters, they're able to interlock the joists and the supporting beams in really cool ways, where they kind of be 2 notches that slot together, and then you slide and hammer in a single notch, and it all kind of holds itself together. Again, we're not in a massive seismic area around here, so we're not really, well, touch wood, you know, it's been, I think it was like 1940s, there was a huge earthquake. Praise the Lord. But yeah, we're heading back into town now. This is our final tunnel. Just over there there's a huge mountain. You won't be able to see it, but it's like it's over a mountain or two away, about half a mile. Again, absolute pleasure for me. I love it driving around here. There's, you know, take the time, doodle about. One thing I notice is how quality the vehicles are out here. A lot of the vehicles are really nice quality, you know. Right, let's signal here because we want to go on a detour. Let's just make sure we're all good here. Yeah, we're all good. Look at that view. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Right, we're just going to go around the edge of the town. Very beautiful, very scenic. Love it. Yeah, there's been a lot happening in the world since over Christmas. I don't usually talk about politics so much on this channel just yet. Don't want to turn everyone off, but very interesting times. I know there's a lot of problems around the world, but I'm quite optimistic personally. I think it'll be good, interesting year, 2025. Interesting year. Oh, let's just let our mate through. There we go. We've got a power substation around here. Looks like something out of Terminator. This is a lovely house on the right there, that is. It's out very old school. There's a lot of check on the left there. There's a lot of chainsaw artists in this village. Obviously it's a lot of wood, so chainsaw art is quite big. This is the regional kind of substation place thingamajig. Boys are working on a new part of the road up here. See if we can creep up. Yeah. Got someone coming down. Let's let him come down first. Flashing lights. People very, he might bib as he goes past. Hey, that's it. They always wave the hand. Give a wave of the hand. I think Japanese road etiquette is amazing. Everyone's polite. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. What more can you ask for? Right? Just, yeah, I think one has to be very self-aware that, you know, I am a foreigner. This is their country, their rules, their style. So hold on, let's just get a bit of we've got a little bit of snow coming on. It won't stick, but we have to be mindful. And respect, man. You know, I see a lot of those streamers and stuff on, well, I don't see a lot of them because I'm not interested in them, but I hear about it and I've seen it before and I've seen lots of what they do. But you get a lot of rude people coming into the cities, you know, foreign Westerners, and just being douchebags, really. And I really don't recommend that. It's not polite to take the piss out of someone's politeness. Politeness is a strength in my opinion, not a weakness. And it's not something to be not respected. So, you know, it shows you're civilised as far as I'm concerned. Got a bit of snow coming down, just a gentle bit. Might have to wipe that screen. Get a lot of chestnuts around this part, dropping on the road. We was collecting some of the chestnuts and trying to plant them because we want to take local species that's natural and get those on our land. If it works here, it will work. It will work in our place. So we're going to turn a left here. Let's have a look. Hopefully this video should be in 4K. I'm videoing it in 4K, 30 frames a second. It should come out quite nicely, I'm hoping. Coming up to the large river. There's a large river around here. It's very beautiful. A lot of fishing goes on down here. You need a license to do a lot of things in Japan, right? But it's because they want people trained and doing it properly. I don't know if you can see this vid. You can't see it too well, but they do a lot of fly fishing and very clean waters. Very clean waters. Got someone coming up. Again, you can see a lot of this protection from rockfall stuff going on, and you know, it's pretty steep embankments up there where the forest is. As soon as you cut that forest down, you then got a rockfall problem, landslide. Again, when it's raining, will probably be the most risky part. It's got a lot of the lovely rice paddies around here. You see some of the architecture. Again, Kaminka style houses, tile roofs, wood framing. And coming up, you might see Mount Myojin in the distance, which is where we're based. So we're about 2 miles away. And I've got to drop past the cafe quickly, so we're going to nip past and say hello to them. Again, this is a typical example of a beautiful little sleepy Japanese village or town, you know. This town population, we're around 2,800. Toei Aichi, Japan. Aichi Prefecture. You can see Mount Myojin in the distance there. It's about 2 miles away. That's where we're based. Kura Retreat Daikokten. And little police station. You might see a little police station dotted every now and again. Village policeman. A lot of tea refinery kind of businesses around here. Kind of refine, get that tea, that ocha cooked up and ready to go. Every now and again, again, as I said, I love looking at houses and gardens because that's my thing. Got the car yard here. This is where we got our little truck from. Guys up here. So just watch out. I've got a blind corner here, and that's why. Watch your blind corners in Japan, people. That's what I say. And yeah, there's a lot of tea refining going on and some really gorgeous places around here. A lot of nice manicured gardens. Sometimes you'll see a real manicure one. Remember, a lot of people might be really old, so they can't, you know, DIY the place up. I mean, in England we've certainly got that fetish for home changing, and I think that goes for everywhere really. What's very interesting is there can be a very eclectic mix of different architectural buildings in the same you know, area. So you might have one Kaminka and then a kind of semi-new build. Let's pull over because I've got someone who's looking like they want to speed up and I want to take my time here. So just that's it. Just take on. Got a wood yard, blueberry field, got a graveyard to the right. You know, how many of you have seen a Japanese graveyard? You know, it's just quite interesting. You know, for foreign people, you might just want to have a look, you know, see what it looks like. Obviously, I don't want to just go disrespecting and go and video someone's dear loved ones, but you know, it's just again, many different things that people just might not see if you live abroad, you know. And these kind of taxi, the good thing is we've got mirrors on the side of the walls. Let's let that lady through. Ah, I know them. Hello, give them a wave. Yeah, we know everyone around here. Yeah, there's a lot of tight turnings and all that jazz. One has to be mindful. But a lot of these towns have got so much economic potential, in my humble opinion, due to their tourist potential and people starting businesses up, you know. Depends what type of businesses. But it could be anything. Oh, it's time to go. That didn't take long. Let's go over the bridge. And we all know that Japan is going through a massive population decline, as well as many modern economies. England, United States, even Russia. I think even North Korea is having problems with the amount of children being born compared to the amount of people who are dying. So overpopulation isn't a consideration on planet Earth at the moment, because in 1 or 2 generations we'll probably be a third down. You know, some of the statistics that I've seen, you know, is pretty shocking. So these Japanese towns are a typical exemplification, an example of population decline and its impact on rural economies, traditions, heritage and culture. And it's pretty serious, right? It's pretty serious stuff. For me, when I drive around there, not only is it beautiful and peaceful and, you know, little things going on and nice scenic scenery, and but, you know, if someone's culture dies down, that's not good, right? And we're seeing that in the UK. We've got our own problems in the UK. So, long live culture, that's what I say. Little petrol station. Now look at that car parked on that little... That gets the award for the coolest parking as far as I'm concerned. Now in the UK we have a lot of silly rules and good rules for health and safety. Some of you may know, some of you may not. But country rules out here are country rules. I'm sure it's the same in some other places as well. But again, we're driving through the main part of the town. A lot of old buildings, a lot of things closed down. A lot of opportunity, really. That's how I see it. Opportunity. Got the sun coming out now. Now I'm going to pull up because I need to go and quickly do an errand. So I'll turn this. Right, round 3. Back on the road. Let's do it. That's that errand done. And our next task is to return back to base. So, some lovely houses around here. I say that, and I say that, and there's probably not many here right now. But I mean, when I look at things, I think, oh, I like their garden. I like what they do. Lovely view there. It gets snowy on those mountains sometimes, but it ain't been snowy lately. Just hasn't been cold enough for the snow to settle. I don't know what it's like where you folks are. Look at this little Japanese pine tree on the left here. That's a gorgeous plant. And we're just heading back to base, so we're heading back to near Mount Myojin. And hopefully we'll see the pheasants growing up big and tasty. A walk-in fridge. Just got to watch these big roads. Double check your turn-ins. I'd love it. My old driving instructor in England, I don't think I ever thought I was going to be driving in Japan, because obviously we didn't think we was going to come here. But yeah, I think old Rob would be surprised. Shout out to Rob. Sometimes you might see on the right down here, we're not there yet, but you see a vegetable honesty box. It's just there under the blue sign that we're just going past. It's a little blue box thing. You can't see it very well. But honesty boxes, you know, you go and put 100 yen in and you get a load of onions. If you're a foreigner, don't go taking the piss and stealing anything. You know, keep the dream alive, man. You know, some of the people might be old folk growing veggies, and it's a little bit of money that they get for doing their hard work. So respect it. Coming up to the Nakura retreat now. I think what we do is actually keep going on our little journey, because there's some good views around there actually. Let's keep going. We can always come back. And, keep to that speed limit. Again, in the summer, a lot of people come down and come to restaurants. Even in the winter, people are doing a lot of driving around these kind of roads for obvious reasons. Beautiful. Something definitely to consider. I think what we'll do is we'll take a left up here. Signal. A lot of hybrid vehicles out here. Sometimes I see a Tesla every now and again. Obviously mostly Japanese brands. Sometimes see American muscle cars and things like that from the car enthusiasts. Gorgeous rivers around here. again, if you're out in the Japanese countryside or wherever you are in Japan, don't go throwing your litter everywhere. Don't go being a douchebag. Don't go breaking the rules. You know, Japan, as well as many countries around the world, Japan feels very like a functional society. I'm sure there's criticisms to that, but having said that, respect, man. You know, you gotta respect. I think what we'll do is we're gonna risk it for the biscuit and take the mountain pass, because if we take the mountain pass we get some really good footage. Let's make sure I'm in the right area, not here, a bit further up, and the mountain pass will actually come back around to where we are. There's some really good restaurants in Toei Aichi, and recommend you take the time to savour the different local cuisines. Oh, let's shut the window, we've got a little bit of strong winds. Let's turn around up here and come back on ourselves. Right, let's pull over here for a sec. Let's put that out. Right. Check the rear mirror signal and off we go. Fuel by English standards is very cheap. I haven't spoke about that much, but it is, from my perspective anyway. And you know, out in the countryside, oh, we've got some crosswinds coming in. Feel that? We do get typhoons out here, and you don't really want to be risking it unnecessarily. Always follow sort of protocol and that sort of thing. We'll see if we turn around up here. Again, some utterly beautiful restaurant here, but beautiful locations. I think what I'll do is I'm going to turn here and then reverse out quickly. There we go. The 7-Elevens and Family Marts tend to be very popular for stopping off and picking up snacks and things. A lot of people do all that business. Maybe we do a video where we go into some Japanese shops and have a look around, just so you folks see what it's like. We've got a nice bit of sun coming over. I think it's a little bit of rain later tonight, maybe. We've got some intermittent sun. So we're going to go up the mountain pass in a moment. We'll see if we can do that. See what that's like. I've seen some pretty uneducated videos where people sort of slate or criticise, you know, Japan, you know, these K-trucks, but that's usually from some American English teachers over in Japan in the city, probably not that aware. You know, these K-trucks, if you're in the countryside, I mean, they're critical, useful, very useful. Right, let's make sure we're going the right way. I think it's up here. Let's have a look. Is it this way? Ah, that looks like it. That looks like it. Hopefully the vibrations ain't too much. I think I've gone the right way. Let's have a look. We're just going to have to keep going. See where it takes us. See where it takes us. If worse comes to worse, I'll just sat nav it. But I think I know where we are. Again, a lot of these roads are quite precarious. You wouldn't want to be messing around on these roads. Yep, we're in the right place. Oh, it's a bit bumpy. Very tight as well. I mean, if you've got cars passing, we have to figure it out as we go along. But you can imagine if you're going up here at night. And oh shit, we got a fucking car. We got no pulled over. If you're driving at night and it's raining heavily, this could be quite dangerous. And you got to make sure that sat nav ain't throwing you up ways it thinks are good but are actually bad. There's a lot of blind turn-ins here as well. Sometimes you'll find people hammering it down, just, you know, if they're working boys, they're used to this road all the time. You know, these roads can be pretty dangerous. It's country rules, Pandora rules. And, you know, they are acceptable. You can see up there, actually, let's just stop for a minute. You want to be looking at, I don't know if you can see, there's a mudslide there, a pile of it. That's what you need to be looking out for, people. Sorry if it's a bit bouncy. I've tried to tape the phone holder. Just watch these blind turn-ins. Yeah, if somewhere like this is raining, I wouldn't be taking a route like this. If I was, I'd be watching for how the water's coming down the embankments. There's a warning here about tree logging, so there is logging going around, and we have to be mindful of that, as you can see evidence. But you can hear it before you see it, so it shouldn't be a problem. But again, once it's been freshly logged like this and it's heavy raining, again, you've got to be careful. So here we are coming around the back of ours. I'm actually quite surprised how quick that was. Coming up to the Kura retreat. No, we ain't. Tell a lie, sorry. But very similar. Just goes to show you how similar things can look when you're driving around it. I know we're further than I thought we were, but we're on the right road. But again, one fuck up driving here, very dangerous. Do not want to be messing around. Do not want to be speeding. Respect the roads. Look at that. Utterly amazing. Look at that. These boys they've ripped through it. They've left all the big trees and got rid of all the little nasty little ones. Oh, we've got a big rock here. Hold on. Hold on. There you go, doing my bit for society. He says that and the old mountain falls down. Right, let's get it in drive. Again, you can see where all those rocks are crumbling. You've got to keep an eye out for that stuff. If a car like this goes down one of these embankments, it's goodbye. So, you know, that embankment to the left there goes down, I know what, 300 metres, and here we are at our place. No, a little bit more. Again, shows you everything kind of looks the same. You know, I know this area and I'm finding it a little bit precarious, you know. So you just got to be very careful. Now, if I'm right, we're coming close. We're coming close. I can see a trap up there. I don't know if you can see it. A deer trap just behind those logs. A wild boar trap, sorry. This is where the broken down house is. So logging boys have just come through here and cleaned it right up. Thin that forest out. We did a video on clearing the forest. Yeah, we're coming to our bit now. Here it is, sorry. Third time lucky, right? So just watch out these blind turnings because people come around them. We just want to make sure we're safe and careful. It's a little bit worrying actually because it's very easy to get lost out here when it's like this. You're just driving and driving and you think you're in one place and you're not. So again, get that map out if you start getting a bit hairy, but I think we'll be alright. We'll figure it out. We're going to figure it out on the way down. Here we go. coming up to our bit. There we go. Look at how much they've done here. Whoa. So yeah, we're back at home. This is our bit. Again, we've got some dangerous bits. You don't want to roll a car down there. Give you a big headache. Big headache indeed. And here we are back at the beginning. Remember we drove past here. I'm just going to turn the car around at the bottom. Just a lot easier again. Signal. Got the mountain there. Oh. Oops. But I hope that was useful for you folks. And I hope you enjoyed our drive. So in summary, don't drive like a douchebag, respect the rules, and plan your journey, and have a beautiful experience. Hope you enjoy it. We're back home. Back at base. Au revoir.